It's been 1 month since the Hamas militants attacked Israel. 31 days on, the war continues to escalate. Even as the United States is pushing for a pause in fighting, life has been difficult for both the Palestinians and Israelis since the 7th of October. Over 10,000 Palestinians have lost their lives, over 1,400 Israelis are dead. And as the war enters its 31st day, we take a look at what has unfolded since the 7th of October. In the early hours on the 7th of October, the Sabbath, a Jewish holiday, rockets rained down on Israel from Gaza. A Palestinian militant group claimed to have fired 5,000 rockets in 20 minutes, overwhelming Israel's sophisticated Iron Dome defense system. Hundreds of Hamas militants, we're talking about, infiltrated southern Israel by land, sea and air. Hamas militants who entered Israel went on a rampage, killing 1,400 people, mostly civilians. And according to Israeli officials, among those killed were 270 youth at a music festival. The militants abducted more than 240 Israelis and foreign nationals as well. Israel was quick to retaliate, pounding Gaza with airstrikes even as its forces battled Hamas fighters still inside the country. It formally declared war on the militant outfit on the 8th of October as tanks and personnel carriers moved near the border, setting the stage for a major military operation. On the 9th of October, Israel announced a complete siege, cutting off power, food deliveries, and then water supplies to the 2.4 million residents of Gaza. The following day, it retook control of the Gaza border. On the 13th of October, Israel urged the citizens of northern Gaza to move south within 24 hours. Thousands of Palestinians were forced to flee the relentless Israeli bombardment. The Arab League denounced a forced transfer. The airstrikes on Gaza enraged the Arab nations. Iran warned if Israel's war crimes and genocide are not stopped, then the situation would spiral out of control with far-reaching consequences. Egypt said it is unwilling to take refugees as Cairo was wary of political fallout and security risks. It said it was determined to prevent an exodus of refugees to Egypt. A Reuters video journalist was killed and 6 other journalists injured in southern Lebanon when missiles fired from the direction of Israel struck them. On the 17th of October, a deadly strike hit Gaza's Al-Ali hospital. The Hamas Health Ministry said that at least 471 people were killed. Hamas blamed Israel for bombing. However, Israel denied responsibility and blamed a misfired rocket by the Islamic Jihad militants. The US backed Israel's claim, and its intelligence also said that Palestinian militants were responsible for the hospital explosion. US President Joe Biden landed in Tel Aviv on the 18th of October, hours after the hospital bombing. Biden met Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Tel Aviv. Biden's visit to Amman in Jordan was cancelled after the Gaza hospital blast. Jordan cancelled the summit where they were to host Biden and the Egyptian and Palestinian leaders. Let's move on to the hostage situation then. 4 hostages, all women, were released by the Hamas militants. The first to be freed were 2 Americans, a mother-daughter duo. On the 21st of October then, Israel intensified its airstrikes on Gaza, with over 5,000 people being killed in the Gaza Strip. The next day, Iran warned that the West Asia conflict could spiral out of control if Israel did not stop. Iran's foreign minister said that the United States was to be blamed for providing military support to Israel. In Gaza, where a humanitarian crisis continues to unfold, the stock of food and medicines was depleting as Israel cut off supplies. After weeks, the humanitarian aid trucks entered via Gaza's Rafah border crossing with Egypt on the 21st of October. The UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres on the 24th of October denounced the clear violations of international humanitarian law in Gaza. His comments that attacks on Hamas did not happen in a vacuum angered Israel, which called for the UN chief's resignation and apology. On the 28th of October, then, the Israeli army said that it had expanded its ground operations inside Gaza. Netanyahu announced the second stage of the war aimed at destroying Hamas's military and leadership capabilities and rescuing the hostages. He also declared a ceasefire will not happen. Egypt opened the Rafah border crossing. Dozens of wounded Palestinians and hundreds of foreigners and dual nationals have left the enclave. The U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has made multiple visits to Israel. Blinken, who was on a diplomatic tour of West Asia, speaking earlier in Baghdad, said regional leaders would welcome a humanitarian pause in Gaza. With the war completing its 1-month mark, the faces of hostages kidnapped by Hamas are projected onto the outer wall of the old city of Jerusalem. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.